Welcome, everybody.
Hi, happy Friday.
Wow, it's filling up quickly. That went from like 10 people to 30 pretty quick.
Hi,
Um,
everyone.
hey, welcome.
Oh,
I want to start from Adam because because we're all so darn excited. Yeah, no, we are too. Excited to see everyone. I think I want to start doing something at the beginning of these just because we've added so many partners to these events that I'd like to know, is it your first time coming to one of these? Just put it in the chat if it's your first Feature Friday. And also, if it's like your 85th Feature Friday, we'd love to know about that too. Because I know some of you have been around been at these for a very long time.
It's my first feature Friday in the background. I see you're a fan of the talking word. Yeah, I got my
Absolutely.
talking. I got my I got my talking sweater on.
Hey, there we go. I love that.
Yeah,
I love
I'm a fan
that.
of the talking word also.
Well, welcome. I think it's a safe space here to be a little bit of a nerd or and any of that kind of stuff. We love that.
All
So
right.
um, it's a non-derogatory way that I use it. All right, so welcome everybody. We're gonna go ahead and start sharing. We have a little bit of a special feature Friday today. Um, we love doing little special editions of these. So this is our feature Friday, and can you guys all see that? Okay, great.
we
Yeah,
can see it.
so it's Festive Friday, and we'll have, I think, what are we calling them in the future? In December, we're calling them Festive Fridays.
Festive, yeah.
Festive Fridays.
Yeah. So despite the Thanksgiving themed Feature Friday today, we actually don't have a lot on our plate in terms of big new features that you have to learn. But there was a lot that happened kind of under the hood, so to speak. And Allie's gonna walk us through that. But I think just because we do have so many people here who it is their first time, um, we'll just do a quick introduction on the hat side. My name's Mark. I help out with AI adoption and education. A lot of the YouTube videos and training content that you'll see, you'll get to know this face at Hats. Allie, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Allie. I'm the director of operations here at Hats. But a lot of you will interact with me and Quinn, who's also on my team via Lark Meeper or help at Hats. And I kind of work with Mark to make sure that our partners are getting all of the great information about the platform that they need and as much support as possible.
Kelsey?
Hello, my name is Kelsey Blankenship Lackland. I am in the marketing world of things. You have definitely run into me at our booth if you have been to our booth at all this year. And I am here today specifically to answer questions in the chat that pertain to links, mostly. Don't ask me anything technical, but very happy to be here.
Mike, and then Matt, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, so I think I've spoken with a lot of people here, but Mike Hoffman just on the account management side of things. So I have a team of myself, JP, and Jack Kelleher. So yeah, no, we're here to help and appreciate everyone making the time here this morning.
Hello, hello. Matt Hamilton, head of engineering here. This is my maybe third, fourth Feature Friday, and excited that we've got a festive theme this one. Looking forward to Thanksgiving. But yeah, we've got a lot of things coming down the pipeline. Today, maybe a little lighter on specifically user-facing stuff, but team's been working hard on performance improvements and a lot of under the hood stuff this week. And we have some really exciting stuff coming down in the future as well. So it's all good. It's gonna be a good holiday season.
Thanks, Matt. All right. Allie, I have to share this. Just in the Thanksgiving spirit, we are very thankful for all of our partners. We'll talk more about what we're thankful for at our roundtable in a couple of weeks. But we are genuinely very, very thankful for all of you, for the just the fact that there are 40 of you who, hopped on a feature update call on a Friday, take time out of your week to do this, it means a lot. And all of the feedback and everything that you share with us throughout the rest of the week, it means a lot. So thank you from everyone at Hats. Allie, talk
Alrighty.
features.
Let's get into it. So like Mark and Matt kind of alluded to, it'll be less of what you actually see in the platform this week. We do have some updates that we'll jump into, but as we're kind of jumping in, I think we've kind of talked about the theme of the last quarter for us has been, a lot of improvements in speed and functionality. So like Matt said, the team's doing a ton of work on kind of the back end under the hood stuff to prep for, some wonderful features and things we're going to push out through the end of this year. And crazy that I'm even saying it, but going into 2026. So let's jump into it. Alrighty, so the first one we wanted to call out, and this was a bug that we had reported a few times, that was basically an MFA loop for Microsoft users. If you were having any issues with connecting through Microsoft or logging in or anything like that, those should all be resolved. So if you're having any issues like that at all, feel free to chat with Lark Leaper. Somebody will assist you as soon as possible, but we push out a big fix for this last night. And thank you. I know there were some people on this call that had reported it, but any questions on this, let me know. But I just wanted to get that out there to the general group.
Also, Ali, I'm not sure if you have this on a different slide, but that also extends to some OneDrive issues as well that people were
Yes.
experiencing.
Yeah. So anything in that family, if you're still experiencing issues, please reach out to us. And we can connect and get that sorted, but that should be all fixed. Alrighty, let's talk about some new stuff. So last week we had a new LLM for you. This week we have another new LLM for you. This, I believe, was released on Tuesday or Wednesday. Gemini 3 Pro preview is now available in the platform. So check that out, use it, give us your feedback, let us know if you like it, let us know if you hate it, and get testing on that.
I'm a big fan of this one, Allie. I've actually switched my default model to Gemini 3 Pro.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty biased to the Gemini models as well. So I haven't switched most of them over, but I haven't played with this one as much, but I'm gonna have to test it out.
We included, just before we move on to the next one, we included this. This is from LM Arena, blind ranking of different AI models, and Gemini 3, just in the short time that it's been out, has like pretty much topped the charts on all of these different categories. So great that it's in the platform and you guys can go try it out.
Alrighty, and then one other feature just to review, and this is more of a request that we've had from some partners based on just some confusion. All of the LLMs and hats now know who they are. So if you're familiar with this kind of topic, I think we talked about it on a Feature Friday, maybe back in August, where it was kind of like a general theme where LLMs are often confused on who they were for a wide variety of reasons, right? LLMs are trained based off of other LLMs and all sorts of things. But so we did some great work on the back end to make sure that not only our partners, but their customers feel super confident in the fact that the model you are selecting in Hats is indeed the model that you are using. The model that you've selected in Hats has always been the model that you are using, but this is just our way of being as transparent as possible. So if you're asking the LLM what model it is, it will now tell you. And then for models where it's applicable, the training knowledge cutoff date can also be asked. So that's just a little update to give our partners, a little bit more transparency and just to show you what model you're using correctly.
And they also know that they're being run in the Hats AI platform, which
Yes.
is helpful. All right.
That's all I had today.
Yeah. There were also just some things on the, under the hood, like we said, that help with speed and performance and, nothing flashy that you need to look at in the platform, but just constantly making those improvements pretty much every week. We usually don't talk about them. They just kind of they're in with all of the other exciting features. So we're always making those improvements. All right. Yeah, we'll switch over to education and adoption and just sort of some of the announcements that we skipped over at the beginning. This is our last roundtable of 2020. Last roundtable of 2025 is what that should say, not of 2026. So in a couple of weeks, on December 3rd at 12 p.m., we have our final roundtable of the year. This will be really an action-packed one. We've got a lot of good stuff that we're going to cover in that. So if you have not RSVP'd for it yet, grab the link that I believe Kelsey is just put in the uh, in the chat. Sign up for that. Get your whole team. If you have 5, 10, 300 people on your team, get them all to come to this one. It's going to be a really good one. Last one of the year. And this came out last week. We talked about it very, very briefly on the call last week, but the new certification in the Learning Portal is called the AI Navigator Cert. It gets its name from what the goal of it is, which is to help users navigate hats. So there's less like, what is AI and what are these terms and definitions and all of that stuff. It's less of the technical AI thing, and it's more, how do I use hats? When I log in and I see the chat, what do I click on? What do these buttons mean? What are my options? When I go to the workshop, apps, workflows, agents, how do I build them? How do I use the Hats Workshop Assistant that Matt said is faster in the chat, which it is. I was testing it out this morning. So how do you use all of those things? What we really intended for this to be for our MSP partners was onboarding for your team, get everyone, trained up, but also when you onboard a new client into Hats, this is the onboarding. Like this is the kickoff. You can just give them this training. Takes like 90 minutes. And 90 minutes is if you're really sitting down and like watching it and going and trying stuff in Hats, you can do it in like an hour. But this is meant to be that kickoff call, that onboarding, use case ideation workshop. So you don't have to manage all of that right off the bat as an MSP. So highly recommend pushing your clients to this. This will continuously be updated as we roll out new changes to the chat, updates to the workshop. If things look different, the UI changes, the training will reflect that in like the same time. So this is, I know Mike's been pushing this out to everybody on his calls. Like, people have questions, send them to this. Like, this answers 90% of the questions that your clients are probably asking you, that you're then asking us. Have them take this. This is like meant to help your support desk not get flooded with requests. So yeah, highly recommend this. So yeah, getting started with Hats. When you onboard a new client, first thing, AI Champion, AI Navigator. AI Champion covers terms, definitions, basic prompt engineering, very, very light intro to strategic adoption framework, and then AI Navigator goes into that onboarding trajectory. So what's next?
And I will say, I'm going to jump in,
Yeah.
Mark. I will say I took the AI Champion course right when it first came out, but actually took the AI Navigator course this week, and it was extremely helpful. And I'm in Hats 24/7. I'm always in the platform. I feel like I'm always chatting with AI. So even if you've taken the previous courses, you should really check out the AI Navigator course. It was a great refresher, and I learned some new things as well.
Yeah, thanks, Allie. We did get a question about a link to this. There isn't actually a link to the training. You just go into Hats, and in your user view, so not in the admin portal, right? But in the user view, there's a Learning Portal button. You just click on that, and it's in the course catalog. So a question about, should we do AI Navigator before Champion? I actually kind of recommended the other way around, just because the AI Champion course covers everything kind of at a much higher level, but it also covers the definitions. If you don't know what an LLM is, if you're not really sure kind of what AI is or how it works, the security aspect is covered in there as well. And then AI Navigator is like, all right, cool, we're all on the same page. Now I'm going to use Hats, and here's how to do that. So it doesn't really matter. I make a couple references to that in the Navigator course that, if you're curious about this, go back and take the Champions course. So, that's an option. But yeah, champion, then navigator, which leads us into, what's next. Because if you've been with us for a while, there was a lot more. Uh, we culled it and got rid of the outdated stuff. So what's coming next actually is on Monday, this coming Monday, November 24th, there will be a new course in that course catalog, but it's not an actual certification. This is something that's been highly requested. It's a quick AI skills pathway. So it's to come in and take what you need. Micro learning series is another way to think about it. Uh, we have like I think 15 videos in there now that'll be out on Monday. Everything from just a quick tour of the chat, quick tour of the workshop, um, ROI, tracking impact. I have a whole list here, like using the Salesforce integration, web search tools, the Hats Workshop Assistant, the Microsoft integrations, creating files, spreadsheet analysis, image generation, all of these little 5-10 minute um, skills that you can pick up. So you don't have to, there's no quizzes. You don't have to go through and take all of them. You can click to the one that you want. That's coming on Monday. If there's anything that you want to see in there that your clients have been asking about or that you're curious about, let us know. You can put it in the chat here. You can email us. We'll get a video in there and include it as a part of that quick AI skills course. And then in late December, Q1, we'll have a few more courses start to come out. The first one will be a deep dive into prompting. It'll take a lot longer to complete than just an hour, probably closer to 3 hours. That's not for everyone, right? That'll be for the people who are, you're really, your internal AI champions, people who want to take it to the next level. So that you can look forward to that on the platform in a couple months. Yeah, and then some more things in the workshop, industry survey. But yeah, we're gonna keep pushing out new content and keep updating all of the old content as the platform is updated. Okay, is this certification available to the public, to users that do not have Hats account? Like technically, yes. If you have a Talent LMS login, you can get to it. There is a way to do that. It's not like a publicly available link. And to be quite frank, a lot of the content in it isn't really going to make sense unless you're also in Hats because it's like fairly Hats specific for most of the content. So like, yeah, you could take what you learn, I guess, and then go to ChatGPT, but it's like doesn't really make sense to do that. So this is, I'd say like 99% of the people who are doing this are coming from Hats, clicking on the learning portal and going into the courses that way. Yeah. And as always, the YouTube channel, the quick AI skills course is kind of an extension of the YouTube channel. So, highly recommend going to subscribe to that. If there's any videos that you want to see, any use cases, let us know. But you can also go to the learning portal to see some content there. And then we increased the number of use case workshop time slots that are available. So instead of just having 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, 9, 11, 1, and 3, and that decreases the number of people, on all of these. Sometimes with 10 people showing up in 45 minutes, we had 4.5 minutes to cover every use case, and that didn't really work. So we're decreasing it to about five users or five people, 5 use cases per time slot. And you can sign up for those. That's really if you have a use case that you want to work through. If it's anything go-to-market related, anything, feedback related or anything, send that to your account manager. I know we have Mike, we have Jack, we have JP, or you can go to Lark Meeper, but this is really for like use cases. So if you are trying to build something, you're not quite sure how to do it, you want to get feedback on an agent that you built, like come to these workshops for that. That's really what they're intended for. Anything else, we'll still meet with you, but it's a different avenue. Yeah, so we'd love to see these spots fill up, and we will open up more if we need to. And that's all we have in terms of announcements. So happy feasting. But we can take questions and Ali, there was also something else we talked about doing if you're if you're open to building an agent, but
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm
but
putting
yeah,
the
well, let's
questions
take some
here.
questions first to see if anybody has any. I think we got to most of them in the chat as we went.
I think we talked about the certification.
Yeah.
Some good questions there. I can take, there's one other one I can take that one offline, and yeah, no, I think we're oh, okay, I see new one. The use case dates. I think I think you mentioned that, Mark, but you can always sign up for the use case workshops on the website. And those are on Tuesdays. And Kelsey's dropping that in too. And then this one, let's see. Sorry, people were commenting as we went through. Okay, can we pin agents so that they are at the top of the new chat window? We're exploring some updates to the UI around favoriting agents and kind of what that's going to look like. So my suggestion here is always, if you have something, whether it be a feature or even if it's something in the UI and the layout or the user experience that would make you, use hats more, a few less clicks, make your day a little bit easier, always go ahead and request that in our Canny feature board. Because we do, I feel like I say this a lot on here, but we do check that Canny board every single day. Anytime someone puts in a new feature release, it's in a Slack channel that we all see. And when we get a lot of upvotes on things in Canny, or we're hearing the same things through Canny or through Lark Meeper, it really does help prioritize what we work on, because we want to work on the things that'll help our partners and their customers. So be sure to submit that one. Okay, I see. Mark, you talked about, Mark, you talked about creating some demo for a phone
Yeah.
agent or linked. Did you talk about this one, Mark?
Yeah. So we have a demo phone number. I will have to grab it from the platform and share it. I'll include it in like an email after this. I'll probably also update the phone agent demos on hats.ai too. But yeah, Cyrus, we have a number that you can call that's just like a basic, hey, I'm the Hats phone agent demo. What questions do you have? And it'll answer a couple questions, and you can get a feel for how it works. So we'll
Okay,
get
and
that
then
number.
I can take the next one from Roberto. Does Hats have triggers or automatically start a workflow or an agent? This is something that we're currently working on. So this is another great one to throw in the feature request. I'm pretty sure there's one there, so you could just upvote it. But this is definitely something that we're exploring. Automated workflows and triggers. Okay, another one. Feature suggestion for the community agents. Can you please add a creator and a rating for the agent app, etc.? That's a great one too. I don't know if that's currently in Canny, so that's a great one to throw in the Canny feature request board there. I like that idea. I don't know if that one's come up before. Hoffman throwing in the Adele number. Thank you.
One thing that we talked about a long time ago on like the community agents and stuff was like the ability for people to like rank them in their organization, and that was like a way early, like not even proof of concept kind of thing. So that's a good, I like that feedback, or I like that suggestion.
Yeah, and I think it's helpful too, because we're in the platform every day, too, but it's helpful to hear all the different ideas that people have, and the suggestions. So for like the fifth time, throw them in Canny. Sometimes it sparks some inspiration for us too, and we think about a feature in a different way. Okay. On your YouTube channel, which video would you walk through the online steps to set up a new customer tenant? Mark, I actually don't know. Do we have a new video on that?
No, not on the YouTube channel.
Okay,
I'm just dropping the docs link in here, and
great.
we might need to update this soon. I know the flow for that might be changing soon, Allie, to make it
Yep.
a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Just as a general rule of thumb, we try to keep the YouTube channel, anything that like people can just publicly stumble upon, to like use cases and like general use, anything that's specifically MSP, we kind of keep that more on like the docs page, which again is still public, but most of the people who use this are going to be MSPs. So not that there's anything in there with pricing or anything like that. We would never put any of that out publicly, but just, YouTube videos tend to get more traction if they're like use cases, but you can still go and check with, the docs. And Lark Meeper can answer a lot of those questions. He's gotten a lot better at like giving you actionable steps to take, and that documentation's up to date.
Yeah. Um, okay, let's see. Can you restrict users to not be able to share things they create with anyone? My boss is nervous about workflows and agents being shared without proper overview and testing. Okay, so for this one, we can have all of your users just create things and leave them in public. But as far as the restriction from being able to share, I think this is another one that we can kind of put in a request for, just to make it to prevent any sharing. But I would be a little bit curious about that use case too. It might be something that you want to use groups for. And have people access things through groups or work through groups, but we can Joe, we can work through some next steps for you there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we went through this one. Sorry, these jump back up on me. I'm trying to find my right ranking. Okay. All right, Matt answered this one. I know you can use groups. There's a to keep me. Sorry, that would be amazing. Okay. Is there genuinely recommended for enabling Hatch? Iterative filter through documents one at a time to extract information, catalog attributes. And okay, so Andrew's question, is there a generally recommended approach for enabling HATs to iterate through a folder full of documents one at a time to extract information for cataloging them with attributes on their content? So I don't think we have a standardized recommended approach for this specific use case. I think this would be probably a great one to bring to Mark's use case workshop to kind of figure out, where the data is sourced, where we want it to end up, and work through that together. So Andrew, I think that's a great one. Bring that to use case workshops. That kind of sounds like a fun one to work on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely bring that to a use case workshop, because the answer with a lot of things with AI is like Ali just said, there's a lot of variables that can change the way that question gets answered. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And also too, the great thing about use case workshops is that we don't have to give, in a large forum, a general vague answer or a maybe try this or test this. You get access to, right now, Mark, who knows the ins and outs of the platform, but also can kind of get creative and get you exactly what you need. So really leverage those use case workshops.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh
the
man,
keep
Adam, stay tuned. There's so many
Um,
stay tuned with these.
Yeah, Adam,
Yeah.
this is so Adam's question was the capability to select default tools. I'd like to have it start with Python pre-selected for all agents, workflows / chats if possible. We're doing some great stuff with auto tool calling and things of that nature. Mark and I are giggling because we get on a call with the engineering team to talk about, what we did this week and what's coming soon. And we were just talking about a feature like this. So stay tuned. And that is something that you will see very soon. Eric from Bruma. Got it. Okay, Eric, Eric, we can get you signed up if you don't have the Feature Fridays link, and make sure that you have it. Alrighty. I think that's all of the questions here. And if you have more questions, and as we're going through things are popping up in the chat, we're happy to jump in and start answering them. But Mark has a very cool agent demo to walk through, something that we've been kind of using internally, and we've talked about we've suggested starting to build on your own on this call. So Mark, I'll pass it back to you as we go through that.
Yeah, so the way that I've built this, this is an agent that only works if you are subscribed to this new feature alert email that goes out every Tuesday. So Kelsey, if you can drop this one in the chat, just in case anyone's not signed up. Thank you so much. Just in case anyone's not signed up, we do these Feature Fridays on Friday. So, right, the timeline goes, there's a release that happens on Thursday. We do a feature Friday to walk you through what's new in the platform. And then on Tuesday, we send an email with any relevant documentation, articles, demo videos, and use cases to make use of the new things in the platform. That comes out, it's opt-in, right? We don't spam everybody with those. But if you opt into those, you can then take these emails that have, new feature, article, demo, use cases, new feature, article, demo, use cases for all of the new features. And they're written from us to most of the time our MSP partners. There's nothing really MSP specific, but it's just meant to be like, hey, here's the updates. What you can do with those is actually share those out to your clients. But I built an agent here, and I'll share this in the community. I used our good friends over at ImageQuest because I needed an MSP page. It wasn't really getting it right if I used hats, so I needed an MSP page to do this. ImageQuest, if you're on here, thank you. So it just points, basically what happens is it'll search using, you can do Microsoft, you can do Gmail. It'll search your inbox for the subject line. Our subject lines for those email alerts always stay the same except for the date, right? So it'll search for new hats new feature alert week of, find the most recent one in your inbox, look at it, use Firecrawl to like click the links and look through the documentation. It'll look at your MSP website to get your tone of voice and how you do your marketing on your website, and then it'll actually create a new email that you can send out to all of your clients. So it goes through a bunch of steps here using search your inbox, grab the email, take the body of the email, extract all the info, go to your website, look at how you write things, and then create a new email that you can send out. It sounds more convoluted than it is, but I'm going to put this into the community chat. But just the way that I built this was I went to the chat and I just turned on the Hats Workshop Assistant and I said, we send out these new feature alerts. Actually, I think I have the chat here. It's up here. Yeah, this was I did a workflow first, but that was my prompt, and then turned into an agent over here using Gemini 3 Pro. So I'll share this to the community, but you guys can recreate this. Super easy to do. Use that Hats Workshop Assistant. Got a lot better yesterday, a lot quicker. So that's what I would recommend. We send out these email email updates. Don't let them stop with you. Share them out to everybody. Yeah, I'll share the prompt. Let me stop sharing here.
And I think to kind of echo off of what Mark's saying, Mark and I and the whole team work to put out as much, training documentation and content and use case examples. And, then you also have the ability to leverage the community. But we try to give you as much as possible, not so that it just stays, within your MSP and just for our partners, but we would love for you to repurpose our content and, get it out to your end customers. That's what it's there for. And that's what AI is great at, right?
Hey, Craig.
Taking what we
Hold on, I'm on a call.
taking the stuff and all the great work that Mark is doing and, using that and giving it to your customers. That's what it's there for. So be sure to leverage that. We always say, be sure to use AI to use AI. Ask, the workflow assistant, the workshop assistant, to build you a new agent, to build you a new workflow. Show your customers how to do that on their own, but also to be sure to check out all of the great content we put out on docs.hats.ai, on YouTube, and through the great feature release emails. And Mark, I don't know, did you drop that prompt in there? I know some people were asking for it. Great.
Yeah, just dropped it in.
And also too, let us know, what other items we can give you to help give to your end customers. While we want all of you, our partners, using hats and getting the full potential of the platform, we'd love to know how we can help you to get it out to your customers. And that doesn't have to be the conversations that you can have with, JP and Mike and Jack and the team, but also what's some documentation, what's some resources, what are some use cases, what are some YouTube videos, what are some things we can give you not only to help your team internally, but to help your end customers to really leverage and get the full experience out of the platform. So yeah, with that, I don't think there's any questions. Any other questions in here? I think we got all of them. If we didn't, ask Lark Meeber. Lark can help you, or myself or Quinn can jump in and assist if Lark's not getting it as great as Mark would. And just a reminder, there is no Feature Friday next Friday because of the Thanksgiving holiday. But we will see you the following week for our last few festive Fridays of the year. So be sure to join those. The engineering team is working on a ton of new fun stuff. We'll get to talk about that, and we'll do some recapping of the year and some reminders of the great features we've released throughout the year.
Yeah.
But if anybody has any additional questions, I think we got them all. But as always, be sure to check in with Lark and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks everyone for joining. See you next
Everybody.
time.
Be good. Gals.